And welcome along and welcome back to This Is Ireland. It is the last day of autumn. And so we're doing a lot of finishing off and clearing up. Basically, we have one more contract to do. That is the one we have up on field 36. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this trailer up to... we're going to get this traction trailer up to field 36. We actually have wheat in field 36 and we've got wheat in our combine at the moment, so we don't need to empty the combine before we start. We will need to empty the combine before we finish the headland, but that will be fine, and that means that we're able to keep this pretty fluid and pretty good for the start of this contract. It's basically because we've got to go all the way to the factory in the bottom right hand corner of the map in order to tip. Yeah, that is going to be a little bit of a hassle. So what we're going to do is we're just going to park this in here initially, so that this is ready for us when we come to empty in a little bit. Turn this tractor off, and we're then going to switch across to our Ford here, which we are going to be using, but first we need our combine. So as I said, our combine is currently 97% full. So we're better off. I thought we had less in it than that, so we're actually better off emptying this first. 97% is not a good amount to be starting this field with. It won't go very far. So we'll head over, and I don't really want to transport down the road with all that grain in the tank either. So we'll get this over to our other field. I was sure we had more space in our combine than that. But I suppose, yeah, we fit everything in our combine last time, so it shouldn't be that surprising. So what we'll do is we'll get this emptied, and then we'll load up the header and get our combine back to onto the other field. We can't quite get down the road without the header on. Oh, it's the next set of buildings we need to turn at. We can't quite get down the road with the header on, so yeah, we're going to need to empty it. I thought we were a little bit better off than we are. So let's bring this round here. We should be able to skirt round and get this to unload. I don't think we can pull right up the side where the combine is, but I think we can get pretty close. Yeah, there we go. So we'll just reverse the combine up a little bit, and then we can drop the header off as soon as we have got the combine emptied. So back it up and let's get the combine emptied. So almost done now. So this is going to be about 3/4 of this trailer that this fills. So I want to go to about half full before I empty the combine again, because then we will have maximum amount of time before we need to refill it. The other job we've got going today, our T7, is planting winter wheat. So that is going in on field 33. So that should finish off shortly. Once that's done, field 34, which I believe is the one below it. Yeah, field 34, we are going to be putting oilseed radish in. So that hopefully by the springtime, by the time we come to plant our crop in there, that will be good. Let's drop that off onto there. Perfect. And fold our combine in. Right, let's take our little 6810 then, start it up, put our beacon on, and we should be able to get this out of the field without too much hassle, and take it round, and we'll get this into the other field hopefully without causing an issue. Don't want to hit my... No, good. We've cleared the other tractor, clear this gateway. Ooh, we've got a car, but after that I think we're clear. Yep, we're past the traffic. Quite a wedge of traffic going that way, but we're good. So as long as we can get this out and round, we can get this over to the other field without too much hassle. And I want to get this in and get this into a position where we can easily get the header on the combine. If we can do that, what we'll be able to do is we'll just be able to drive in, pull this out of the way, and immediately get it to restart. And here's the entrance to field 36. So let's just pull ourselves into here. And I want to be careful. I don't want to catch my trailer on any of the sides of this. let's make sure we clear it first. There we go. And there's actually enough space at the side of this field for us to pull into the trees here and get that off. And where we are with this, we can come straight into the crop like that. So that actually should work really well for us. So across to our combine, get the beacons running on that. Get ourselves going forwards. And we can get this over to the other field as well. We'll pop out just before this next car. Absolutely perfect. And away we go. And it looks like our T7 has reached its endpoint. So we'll get this to the field and then we'll go and sort that out. Combine pulling into the field now. And we can just, yeah, and look at that. We can get ourselves, we're going to get a few branches. But otherwise, we're in a pretty good place for this one. So let's hook this up. Sometimes you have to get out and get back in. Yeah, to get stuff to hook. I think that's an issue with the manual attach. But we're okay. We're in a good place, as I said. So we'll get this lined up. And then we'll go and deal with our cedar. And get that started. So that down. This can be unfolding. And we'll head over to the T7 here. Which has done a bang-up job of getting this field planted. We seem to have 2 areas, though, in the middle of the field that have already failed. Which is unfortunate, which is a bit sad. So let's fold up this cedar and get this to the right place. We need to stop the driver first, fold up our cedar. And while that's folding up, I'm just going to quickly nip over here. And this has... I know it's germinated. Okay, that's a bit weird. It's not failed, but that's really odd. We are growing. So it's all growing. That has actually harvested. So that's failed to grow. That's failed to grow. So the middle of our field has started to grow. I would guess the rest of our field will also start to grow. But yeah, so these are bits that have failed to germinate. That's really interesting because it's this time of year. We do want these to germinate. We need these to germinate at this point. Yeah, that is really interesting. The other one that we need to get, as I said, is we're going to put oilseed radish in. We're going to go and put that into our little field over here. So I don't know if we have a saved route for field 34. We don't. So we'll have to generate this. So we'll head down here. We will set it to finish at this point here, which will be good. Going clockwise, so let's get... Where's my generation point? Oh no, we need to clear this. Course generation, there we go. So, we want field 34. We want current vehicle position, starting direction, automatic. Bypass islands, we don't have any. Multi-tools, working width is 15 meters. So we want to auto do that. Headland, we want it to do 2, I think. We want it to do clockwise. We want to start working on the up-downs. And let's just generate that and see what that produces. Not a massive amount of stuff, but this should work. Should give it enough space to turn around. So we'll head over and get this started. So oilseed radish is going to bump up the yield on this field pretty well. Is a good way to go. We're not doing it in our other field because it's not going to have the desired effect. It's actually going to, it seems to reduce the yield. Yeah, it doesn't have the desired effect. This one we want us to go first waypoint and drive course. That should do great now. It's going to fertilise and oilseed radish. We will not have to fertilise this crop when we come to do it later. But that is off. We are heading over back to our combine. Start her up. start it going, and away we go. Oh, we actually have caught the header trailer, so we'll miss the header trailer and do that, and then we should be able to move the header trailer. So we're going to get this up to 50% and then go and get our Massey and get this emptied. So yeah, these are the two things we're doing today. We're clearing up these contracts, getting this last contract finished off, and then we are and getting that other field planted with the oilseed radish. And these two things are going to finish us off for the year as far as the harvest goes. I have a feeling we may be able to grass cut for the first 2 weeks of winter. If we can, we're going to be doing silage next time, because we have a large silage field. We have an area for the cows where we want to put a silage bunker in. Yeah, I think next time what we might be doing, if we can cut grass, so I'm not going to build the silage bunker yet, but if we can cut grass, we will, and we'll get our big field, what is it, 23. If we can cut that to do silage, we absolutely will, and then we won't have to use the silage down at the BGA. We'll be able to sell that instead, and make money that way. So yeah, let's get this cut. Let's get this up to 50%, and we'll go and get our tractor. We'll go and get our Massey, and then we can get this field done and dusted. We will need to go and tip after we've got the Massey, of course. But yeah, we can get this field done and get this contract in the bank. So we've made it about 3/4 of the way around the field, and just as I was pulling up, then it turns out that our T7 has also finished. So let's just head over here. So, oh wow, that has made a bit of a mess. So while that's emptying, let's start this up, and we will just finish off what this was doing in the meantime. One of the great things about seasons, and I learnt this when I was doing Copper Park Farm at the end of 17, is this ability in the winter time, at the end of autumn, if you can get this into your field, if you can get some oilseed radish into your field, you can definitely increase your yield quite a bit. So that's what I try and do if I can with fields, is I will put in some OSR, some oilseed radish, and see if I can make that just that little extra bit on my stuff. So there we go. I think by this point our other tractor should be finished, or should be loaded. Actually, I'm not going to fold that up, because looking at the corners of this field, there is space. Interesting that you can see the patches actually where where we had failed crops and things last season, because they haven't had or they haven't increased their they can't take any fertilizer because they are fully fertilized. Right, driving all over the crops like this is not a great idea. Right, so with these bits finished, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to park this out the way. We'll get this back to the farm in a bit. But this is all done now, so our T7, that has finished its work until next year. We'll just park that there while that folds up. Pop back to here. And unfortunately, we can't leave the combine going while we tip this first load. What we can do, though, is we'll get this down to the factory, and hopefully we can work out how long this is going to take us. And maybe by the time we've got the next load ready, we can set the combine going as with a hired worker. But now let's get this down. Oh, I'm having trouble getting around this corner. Let's get this down to the factory and get our first load tipped and see how much. Well, hopefully it's going to complete the contract in the other field, and hopefully get us some way to completing this one in this field as well. We're down at the factory, and it's time to tip our grain, our wheat. So let's pop out, get this tipped. And let's see how much this makes. Well, it's not going to make any money, of course. It is going to complete our first contract. So our first contract is almost done. Come on. Now that's interesting. 48% transported for field 36. Why did it not come up with our other contract completed? Because it's gone all in for field 36. So that's, in fact, yeah, it's mucked up a little bit. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. It's only taken in 83% for the other one. So that is a little bit surprising. We'll have to see what happens as far as these contracts complete. But yeah, that is a little bit worrying that it's not completed, both contracts. So we will keep an eye out on that. That's only 36%. I'm hoping it's not going to muck up to the point where we basically end up with having to complete those ourselves. There is a bug that I found with, I think it's with seasons and contracts and completion. Certainly with multi-contract, I've had this. So yeah, we'll see how we go. For now, though, let's get this back up to the field because time is running out to get the rest of this field cut. Back to the field, and in game it took about an hour and 40 minutes to get that piece of carting done. So that's quite a long trek. I think we need to try and get the rest of this field cut as far as possible before we go and empty our tractor again. So maybe if we're lucky, we'll be in a position where we can cut the rest of this field, we can fill our trailer up, and still be able to fit the rest of this in here. If not, it's going to be quite a trek. Even if that happens, though, we will be able to get this combine going on a hired worker. So actually, that might be the better way to go, is to get a hired worker running on this. Do, as we saw, about a tank and a half. Does about 97%. So get another tank and a half into our combine. Sorry, a tank and a half from our combine into the trailer. Fill the trailer up. Maybe go a little bit. Maybe go like 55% on the second fill. And see if we can time it so that the combine gets maximum work done while we're away and is able to do stuff. So yeah, I'm going to finish this headland. We're going to do a second headland so it's easier for the hired worker to turn around, and we'll go from there. So we're coming up to the end of the second headland now, and just one last little bit to do. 87%. So we'll have to actually empty the combine before we go any further. It's 12 minutes past 4. So my prediction that we're kind of going to need to fill the tractor and trailer and then empty this, I think is going to come true. There's not much I can do other than that. We're at 90% full, so I'm going to fill the tractor and trailer. We'll then work out how much we have left on this in order to fill the trailer on the Massey. Because if we can do that and get the hired worker working across the field, that will work to our advantage. So we'll see how much this empties and how much this fills it. We can then do a rough calculation and work out exactly what we need to get a full trailer so that our hired worker can keep going. And hopefully we can just square off this field and let the hired worker work its way across, is my current hope. So there we go, 57%, 15,000 full. So we can take about 11,000 more in this. So that's what we're going to aim to do. We're going to try and get to about 11,000. So yeah, about 6,000 short of our actual the actual full amount of this. We're going to put the lights on at this point because everything is well, we're losing light quite rapidly, and we're going to set ourselves off with GPS at this point as well, because that will help us get this bottom end of the field done. I'm hoping that that the 11,000 is basically going to allow us to clear off this this corner and go from there. So that should be enough distance, which it is. There we go. what trajectory on. We are slightly off, so we need to bring this up. It means the snap train angle is off. We want to auto width. And then we're going to have to redo our thing because we need to be on, we actually need to be on the straight. Otherwise, what we'll find is that our hired worker will be doing different widths compared to the rest. And this is the thing with late autumn, it is getting where the light is getting that little bit darker at this point. So we are doing, we are very much at this point doing the harvesting in the fading light. And it's sort of the fading light of autumn. It's also the fading light of harvest. Is where I was trying to get with that. In a very roundabout way, really. Right, so we should now, on this one here, be able to set the GPS. There we go. We've got, we're up to 4,000. So it's going to be a case of, we're not going to clear all of this little bit in the corner here. But we should clear most of it. It should work quite well from that point of view. And yeah, so let's get this full. Let's get this up to the level we want to get it, and then hopefully we can empty out into our trailer. Go tip that while our hired worker is doing this, and get this finished off. Although I think we're going to end in a fair bit of darkness, to be honest. It's gone 6 o'clock in the evening in game now, and the sun has just disappeared. Alright, so that's why we're in cab at the moment. We have, we're just about to hit that 11,000 mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this little bit sorted out. It is going to be some nighttime harvesting though we're going to do. We are just over that 11,000 mark, so that's good. Let's get this last little bit, and then what we can do is empty the combine and get the, and we'll go and tip what we've got in the trailer while we go and basically set this off on our hired worker. You can see the sun in the distance has just disappeared. We've now got that red on the thing. But one of the things about seasons that really strikes me is just how dark it gets. I mean, it gets absolutely pitch black to the point you cannot tell where anything is. But we've got the lights from the tractor that's illuminating everything at the moment. And I've come in cab because actually when it's dark in game, this is the easiest way for us to see anything. We'll put this towards the back. Fill it all up. I think this should all go in here, hopefully. Yeah, let's get this towards the front. Yeah, there we go. So that has, that I'm hoping has filled our tractor and trailer. What we're going to do, right, there is our crop. And this is what I mean by you cannot see anything. It really is that dark, where stuff just appears out of nowhere. So we're going to get into the crop here, and we'll set, once we've got lined up, we'll set the hired worker off doing this, and then head back. And this is the thing, now our Massey is completely black. So again, this is why I'm going in cab. And it's a case of we need to get this back. So let's get the lights on, and off we go down at the factory. And it's amazing how different it is driving through this map in the dark. Absolutely astounding to seeing where where I'm going and everything. Incredible. The other thing I'm really impressed by is we have 26,843 litres in our trailer. That was just 7 litres shy of a full trailer. We got the amount absolutely perfect off the combine. I'm so impressed with that. And it's 99% transported. So I need to check what's going on with our contract quickly. Yeah, I think the first contract has mucked up. I think we've essentially completed both these contracts at this point. It's a bit weird what it's reporting. to be reporting 91%. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the field complete, and then I'll try and sort out the contracts off camera, because it's a little bit weird. Because we'll have some of it going into our store. So I just need to work out. I'll need to go and check the XML and stuff, see exactly how much we should be delivering, and make sure that it doesn't over or under deliver, and we can complete these contracts perfectly. However, we will go back up to the field, get the last of our stuff of the wheat off the field, just to complete the contract so that you guys can see it. It is very dark though. I mean, literally, there is not a huge amount for you guys to see when I'm outside. It's just blackness everywhere. Let's get this up to the field and get the last of the wheat off, and that's where we will finish for this video. And it looks like we're getting back to the field just in time. Our combine is at 78%. I can just about see the lights to it in the distance, which suggests to me it's about to turn around and come back the other way. In fact, yes, that's exactly what it's going to do. So we're going to empty it out and get it done. But it is remarkable how the stuff just comes out of the blackness like that. And the sun hasn't even fully set. It's just it's just so dark. Is the trouble. There we go, emptying the combine just as it hits 80%. Line that up, coming up to the end of the row. Having a little bit of trouble keeping that straight then. But looking very cool. That's looking absolutely awesome. Right, we're going to grab the combine then and get this last bit done. So, hired worker off. And we're going to go through the last bit of the crop. This wedge is ever decreasing. I think there's a very little bit left in the corner here. Yeah, in fact there is. So yeah, this is the very last bit of crop. We've only got about another just over 3,000 litres by the looks of it off this, beyond the trailer full that we've just put in. So that's good news. Let's put our auger back out and try and get our combine lined up, and then we are ready to finish. Just about, I think. There's my auger. Here it comes. There we are, and into the trailer, and that is it. So that is, I'm pretty convinced at this point that is going to give us that is about the 80% we needed for our stuff to get our stuff done. I'm actually going to move that. That combine is a bit close, yeah, I'm happy with that. That has worked well. We've got a decent amount out of here. We should make a fair amount of profit on this as well. It's all good. I'm pleased, and it should work well. So this is where I'm going to leave it. All that remains is for me to say a thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.